Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Baltimore, RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. This isn't just another rumor floating around. Things are heating up in the NFL, and the Baltimore Ravens are at the center of it all. The buzz in the league right now is about a potential blockbuster trade involving Patrick Surtain from the Denver Broncos. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Surtain is an all-pro corner, a top 5 PFF-graded player in 2025, and a cornerstone of Denver's secondary. But the whispers are strong that the Broncos are considering parting ways with him, and it's not just a random rumor. This could be a game changer, especially for Baltimore, who are always looking to bolster their defense and make a serious push for another Super Bowl. Let's dive into what's fueling this speculation. According to Diana Rossini and other league insiders, there's chatter that Denver, sitting at 3-6 and projected to finish around 2025 with a 3-6 record, is eyeing a rebuild. The Broncos are facing some salary cap issues, about $5 million over the cap, and they're also dealing with a roster that's not quite clicking. With that context, they're apparently open to trading their star cornerback, Surtain, in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. The idea? To focus on rebuilding the roster, especially bolstering their offensive line with some youth after dealing with injuries that devastated their depth. Now, this trade, if it happens, wouldn't just be about acquiring a future draft pick. It's about what Surtain brings to the table and how it fits into Baltimore's plans. The Ravens, sitting comfortably at 7-2 with about $8 million in cap space, are in a prime position to make a move. Their secondary, which has shown flashes of brilliance but also some inconsistency, could greatly benefit from a player of Surtain's caliber. He's not just a shutdown corner, he's a game changer, someone who can lock down the opponent's top receiver and elevate the entire defensive unit. Surtain's production in 2025 is nothing short of elite. He's posted 68 tackles, intercepted 7 passes, broken up 18 passes, and earned a stellar 94. 0 PFF coverage grade. His EPA per target is 48, meaning he's been incredibly effective in limiting the explosive plays through the air. His yards after catch allowed are just 2.4 yards per reception, and his man coverage grade is a jaw-dropping 95. 5. When you watch him on tape, it's clear that his technique and awareness are top tier. He's a corner who can match up against the best WRs, like the top-tier receivers in the league, and often takes them out of the game entirely. For example, in Week 1 against the Chiefs, he had 3 pass deflections, showcasing his ability to disrupt the quarterback's timing and prevent big plays. And it's not just about what Surtain does in coverage. His career stats speak volumes: 25 interceptions, 220 tackles, and a recent injury in Week 5 with a rib issue limited him to 73% of snaps. But even with that, his impact on the field is undeniable. His man coverage skills are impeccable, often locking down the main receivers, which is crucial against divisional rivals like the Bengals, where matchups tend to be highly competitive and physical. Now, let's talk about Denver's side of the story. The Broncos are trying to rebuild their roster, but they're facing some significant hurdles. Their salary cap situation is tight, especially with a rookie quarterback like Nix, who's earning around $30 million. They also have issues with their man coverage, which has been inconsistent, allowing around 220 yards per game through the air. You could say that their secondary is in a bit of a flux, and trading Surtain might be a way to gather assets and focus on developing their younger players. But the risk? They'd be losing a player who, when healthy, is a true shutdown corner, capable of neutralizing key threats. The loss of Surtain could weaken their defense in the short term, especially since their overall pass defense has allowed an average of 215 yards per game despite acquiring players like Jones. The Broncos are also trying to extend their key players, but cap space remains a major obstacle, especially with other contracts like Nix's looming large. But for Baltimore, this potential move could be a perfect fit. Their secondary, which has been solid but sometimes inconsistent, could benefit immensely from Surtain's presence. If they manage to trade for him, the Ravens could see a boost of around 9 pass deflections, a significant drop of about 25% in EPA per pass, and a dramatic reduction in big plays allowed, up to 30%. That kind of shutdown corner can elevate the entire defense, especially against high-powered offenses in the AFC like the Bengals or the Chiefs. Think about how Surtain's presence could help neutralize their top receivers, allowing the pass rush to get home more often and forcing turnovers. Speaking of turnovers, the Ravens are already trending towards becoming one of the league's best at forcing mistakes. They're averaging about 6 turnovers per game, and with Surtain locking down one side of the field, that number could increase. His ability to cover man-to-man, combined with the talent of Marlon Humphrey, who's been a lockdown corner himself, could turn the secondary into one of the league's elite. Imagine a future where the Ravens are not only top 10 in points allowed, but are also forcing turnovers and creating scoring opportunities from defense. That's a recipe for a deep playoff run, and some experts are already talking about the Super Bowl odds jumping significantly if this move happens. The odds for Baltimore to win it all could jump from plus 2,800 to plus 1,000, reflecting the belief that Surtain could be the missing piece to a championship puzzle. And don't forget the bigger picture here. This trade could be a sign of a shift in the AFC landscape. The Ravens, historically known for their stout defense and physical style of play, could be retooling to become even more dominant. With Surtain in the fold, they'd be able to match up against the league's best offenses, neutralizing their top weapons and forcing mistakes. This is exactly the kind of move that can turn a good team into a great one, especially with the playoffs approaching. Of course, there are skeptics. Some analysts argue that trading away a top-tier corner like Surtain could weaken Denver's secondary and make them more vulnerable down the stretch. They point out that the Broncos might be sacrificing short-term stability for future assets, but it's a gamble. For Baltimore, it's a chance to seize a golden opportunity, to add a proven lockdown corner and push their Super Bowl ambitions even higher. The Ravens have always been about smart, strategic moves, and if they pull this off, it could define their season and set the tone for years to come. As the NFL season progresses and this story unfolds, all eyes will be on whether this trade becomes a reality. The impact on the AFC playoff picture could be massive. The Ravens, with their strong 7-2 start, are already looking like serious contenders, and adding Surtain would only reinforce that status. It's the kind of bold move that can shake up the division, challenge the league's best offenses, and bring Baltimore closer to their ultimate goal, a Super Bowl. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking ahead, the Ravens are in a position of strength, but they know they need to keep pushing to stay ahead in this highly competitive AFC. If they land Surtain, they'll have an even more formidable defense, capable of shutting down some of the league's best offenses and creating chaos for opposing quarterbacks. That could be the difference maker in tight playoff games, where every possession counts. And with the Super Bowl odds already climbing, it's clear that the league is taking notice of Baltimore's potential to make a serious run. This trade talk also reflects the broader strategy of the Ravens, building a team that can adapt and dominate in all phases of the game. With Lamar Jackson leading the offense, a stout front seven, and now the possibility of acquiring a corner like Surtain, Baltimore is looking like a team that's not just aiming to make the playoffs, but to contend for the championship. The AFC is packed with talented teams, but the Ravens have the tools, and if this move happens, they might just have the edge they need to go all the way. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think Surtain would be the missing piece to bring another Super Bowl to Baltimore? Or do you believe the risk outweighs the reward? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Baltimore Ravens. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news.